Several questions have been submitted with regard to one of the biggest complaints are our poor roads. In every election cycle, the people hear candidates say they are going to fix the roads, yet they still aren't fixed. Should our mayor and city council be spending time on national issues and avoid the local needs by not addressing this?
Got it. 1 minute. Answer?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So answer is no, we shouldn't be spending our time on national issues. But I advocate for those national issues. There's the Congressman Jackson is located on the square, his office, you can go see him. Congressman Burgess is in Corinth, you can go see him. Dr. Stuckey, the state rep, is here in Denton, you can go see him. City should be focused on city issues. We absolutely have work to do on our streets and our infrastructure under those streets. And I would take the $3 million that we spent on lawsuits. And if anyone questions my math, $1.5 million is well documented on the lawsuit against former Councilmember Keely Briggs and those in Dallas. And then if you take a recent vote, $1.5 million to add to the fund for the legal fund, that's $3 million all day. So, and all those well-documented votes are accounted for, but those, I take that money and pump it back in the streets. So I need people to focus and help me focus on streets. Thank you.
Thank you. Lilyan? One of the biggest complaints in this city are our poor roads. In every election cycle, the people candidates say they're going to fix the roads and they still aren't fixed. What are your priorities in prioritizing the road work, and should the council and mayor be spending time on national issues and avoiding these local issues?
I got my MBA back in 2013 at UNT, and I remember we did a study of the streets. They said we had a 61 on a 100-point scale, which was really scary. And I knew exactly where to drive around town to see where those potholes were. So absolutely, we should be spending a lot of time on our streets. We need to make sure that we're focusing on our infrastructure. There's lots of ways to target that. We want to make sure that we are pouring money into fixing them, but also the maintenance, making sure that we have bus routes to alleviate some of the heavy traffic, right, that all of our cars are causing. Making sure that we are building bike lanes so that we can make sure that people can walk and bike to the different places around this town. So I think that there's ways that we can alleviate them, and we can make sure that we're focusing on that. In terms of, do we spend time on national stuff? I think if people are coming and they're filling out the card and they're coming and speaking their mind in front of the council that they elect, I think they need to have the opportunity to do that. Now, the council, that's going to be a different thing. If somebody wants to pitch something, they can pitch it, and if it's going to be a 7-0 vote, then it's going to be a 7-0 vote. But should we be listening to our constituents? Absolutely.
Jill, the same question. One of the biggest complaints are our poor roads, and they are still not fixed. What are you going to do to prioritize this, and should the council be spending time on national issues and avoiding these local issues?
Thank you for that question. One of my platforms is to concentrate on core services. The city charter sets up the city council regarding looking over policies and implementing policies that make the city work. So we're talking about roads. Our roads were never intended for the volume that is on them right now. And in the past, we're also playing catch up, because in the past, when they needed to change out the water system or the broadband or fiber optic cable or electricity, we were doing that one at a time. And so now we're trying to coordinate with so many different groups, making sure that happens at one time. I've only got 30 seconds left. The other being, I think that in general, national issues and taking up staff time, taking up council time is not productive. It's not fiscally responsible. I love that we're a caring community and that people are caring about things outside themselves. However, I feel that those energies should be put towards someone that can make a difference. I think that this is what City Council was set up to do and what we're supposed to do.
Erica? One of the biggest complaints in the city are our poor roads, and people hear that they're going to be repaired and fixed every election, and it's not done. So what are your priorities? How are you setting your priorities to prioritize this, and do you feel like time should be spent on national issues as opposed to taking care of these local needs?
So that's definitely another one of the platforms that I'm running on, is refocusing on Denton, local issues. The things that each and every one of us use and impact our lives every single day. We've all driven down these roads and we're just like, oh, man, I hope I don't have to go get an alignment after that. So, the job of council is to listen, and to listen to our community and then objectively create policy based on our community needs. So, measure the effectiveness of what we're doing, and then also be good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars. Like that, being fiscally responsible is a drum that I just feel like, we need to go over and over. We are spending so much time on important issues, but they're not local issues. We're spending time on international issues, state issues, national issues, and it's just a waste of our resources. Thank you.
Brandon, the same. One of the biggest complaints are our poor roads in every election cycle. People hear that they're going to fix the roads and that is a priority. So how are you going to prioritize that, and what is your stance with regard to time being taken away from those issues, local issues, and focus on national issues?
Thanks for that question. If you've ever been to a city council meeting, you know that what we allow the citizens to do is we allow them to come forward and they have time to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And they should be allowed to do that. So what you're hearing people say when we're not going to spend time on national issues, which doesn't happen, by the way, is that they're going to come into council with preconceived notions of what they're already going to do, and they're not actually going to listen. Our job is to listen, I agree. But we can't listen on what we want to listen to. We have to listen to everything. If someone brings an international or national issue forward, it is our job to listen. Because people can't afford to get to Austin. Everybody can't afford to go to Washington. Try catching Dr. Jackson or Dr. Burgess at their office, or Lynn Stuckey at his office. It's not always easy, but people can come to City Hall, and they should come to City Hall. Listen, please, closely, carefully. We don't spend any money on international issues. We listen to everybody, but we only act on things that actually directly affect our residents. With respect to roads, here's the truth. As the only member of the Mobility Committee currently up here, City of Denton roads score at a B. The worst roads in towns are TxDOT roads, and we are not responsible for it. Thank you.
Thank you.